Hi, I'm Kendra Garden from Energetic Spaces, talking about the bedroom, how to best set it up for success, which basically means how to set it up so you can have a restful night's sleep and feel refreshed in the morning. And the thing we should always remember, and why I'm stressing the bedroom so much, is that we're so sensitive to the energy of our bedrooms. It's one of the few places that you really should, hopefully, consistently spend about 8 hours a day. And it's one of the places that you're not really conscious and not really protected and guarded. So you should try to make it a really good, restful place that supports your sleep, that doesn't have things that drain you and wear you down. But to try to help explain how a feng shui or a practitioner can help you take care of your bedroom and bring it up to a state that would make it a great space for you to sleep in, I wanted to give you a sample of what I did with a client on their bedroom. So here's a sample client bedroom with a little bit of analysis, some of the things I told her to do for her bedroom. So on the to the right is a picture of her bedroom at the moment. She just moved into this apartment, so of course she had a beautiful blank slate for us to get started and give her some great tips so the space would just be so warm and inviting and yummy and very restful for her. So here's a picture of the space. There's the bed with the window behind it. And as you see, there's a door that it leads into the bedroom. And to the one side is a closet and the other side, of course, is the bathroom. So the first thing you should think about when thinking about your bedroom is command position. And I mean command position in relation to where your bed is, because obviously that's the big thing that's being used in this room. That's the key piece of furniture. So here's a couple examples of how you could place your bedroom, your bed in your bedroom. Now, looking at this, I'm sure you kind of are intuiting what's probably the better bed locations and which ones are kind of the weaker, if you would. And the beautiful thing about Feng Shui is we usually can help you adjust if for some reason you're forced into one of those weaker or lesser choices because of other things in the way. So the key thing about thinking about command position is where you place your bed in relationship to the door and other key items. So I'm focusing in this example of basically the door, but your window does matter, the bathroom does matter, and that's when you start getting really restricted on options. Say you have a closet in there, I understand it gets really difficult and tight. So we will work with you and adjust how to set it up. But just to get a basic, very, very simple here, 3 of these are good. 3 of these I would definitely say go forward. And 3, not so much for varying reasons. But, you know, just keep in mind if you have one of the ones like C, D, or F, be cautious, try to think about how you can rearrange it so it can be in the command position. So I have a quick little command position checklist. So, you know, where you place your bed, make sure it's as far as possible from the door to the room. Make sure the bed is not in front of a window. Use a headboard. Bed should not face the door, face any door. So not just, you know, and the bed is accessible from both sides. So these are some basics for your bedroom. So if you check off all 5 of these, you're doing pretty good with your bed position. So as you can imagine, this is a star. This is a great location for the bed. It's in the center of the room. There's no windows in the way. You're not in front of the door, but you can see the door, and that's key. You need to be able to see the door. So this is a great example of a bedroom with great command position. And then here's another one that has great command position. So as you see, it doesn't always have to be like dead on. You see the bed turned to the side on this wall, really good too. This one is one I normally would not recommend because of the fact you don't have command position in the sense you cannot see the door. But with Feng Shui, there is a way to adjust to make this work. So what you can do is get a mirror. And you put a mirror where I have those little red squares, and you put a mirror on either one of those locations. And you can see, if you can see from the mirror and you can now see the door, we fixed it and you kind of energetically corrected the problem. Because sometimes this is the only way you can do it. Because for example, there might be another window, it might be an entrance to the closet or to the bathroom, and that's where your bed has to go. So, you know, so as I said, put a mirror that you can see from, not directly in front of your bed if possible, but the mirror where when you look at it, you can see the door. You've kind of corrected that position, corrected the command position issue, should I say. So the problem with this one is that, so this is another don't, is that the energy comes into your room from your door. So if you're laying right there, that's goo gobs of energy rushing at you. So I would not recommend that for your bedroom if at all possible. And as you can imagine with this bedroom, same thing. I would not recommend this for the same fact that you get the rush of energy coming right at you. Also, there's this belief in Feng Shui, if your feet face the door where these feet would, it's kind of like being carried off to your death. So it's really a bad Feng Shui position. So this is not the optimal bedroom position. So when I was thinking about my client's space, I was thinking, oh, maybe this is exactly how our room was like, especially when this is the first photo I saw. Like, great. So we have the command position, we have it all set up, and it's wonderful. But then I took a pause and I went, no, it's more like this because of the way the corridor kind of entering into the room is, where it's tight with the bathroom and the closet. So what that means is, yes, it's more of this type of design, which I'm not very happy about because, as you remember, energy is rushing in. So the problem with this design is the energy is sprinting at them in the bed, where the bed is lined up like that in the door. So imagine that the hallway almost is where the door is to the bedroom, and the energy is rushing at them while they're laying in the bed. And that's too much for a place where you sleep. It's going to ruin your restful night's sleep. So we got to figure a way to slow down that energy that is running at them and create something that's a little bit a slower moving energy that comes in there, so they can be comfortable, they can relax and not feel like there's a rush energy coming right at them while they're in the bed. So as you can see, remember that closet I was saying in the bathroom? We're going to have to figure out ways to adjust it. So one way we can adjust it is to use a curtain to kind of separate it. So at least there's a barrier that would separate the little space before the bedroom. So put a curtain there. It could be a very simple curtain. It doesn't have to be something you constantly put down or up. It's the gesture that is really what is important. So this type of gesture right there would be perfect to kind of slow down the energy. Here's another example of just how that bed is the other bad example I was showing you, a bedroom. But see how that curtain kind of slows the eye down, it distracts you, it changes the energy flowing there. Another issue that is created there are some poison arrows. And what poison arrows are anything with these points that point at your body. And if you do advanced kinesiology or muscle testing, if you stand somebody in front of one of those poison arrows, you'll actually see their body is weaker. It's like an energetic thing. It's just constantly coming at you. And that's what we call in Feng Shui a poison arrow. And so what is happening here with those corners is what you see what's happening there, and that red line on the corner. That is constantly a negative, sharp energy coming at the person. So, so it's coming at, hopefully not hitting them in the head, at least it's hitting lower, but it's these poison arrows that are coming at them. So with the curtain, you'd actually correct both the energy rushing down the hall and the poison arrow. So it's a twofer, which I love when you can do one cure. You can fix two things with one cure. Another option you can do for those poison arrows, because it is still going to be an issue, is a corner guard. So basically a corner guard is like the one in the middle, that metal thing. It can be fancy. And if a person puts something like that, I would just make sure it's at the level of where they sleep, because that's what, so where your body is, make sure that corner guard hits there on the corner so that that poison arrow isn't coming at you. You can use a crystal that's on a chain kind of thing that's actually designed to kind of combat the energy of poison arrows. It just kind of will refract the energy elsewhere. Or you can use these things, you've probably seen them in old houses. You can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot or any kind of construction site. They used to be common in a lot of houses. It's called a corner guard because it really is helping to protect the corner, because those sharp corners in a house, they get bumped, they get hit. Like, I've done lots of healthcare work as far as architectural, and we put corner guards because all those beds and carts coming down the hall, they could easily hit and clip the corner and ruin the drywall or gypsum. So you put something that's just a little barrier on top of it that gives a little space so that you don't hit it, but also that also is protecting you from the sharp poison arrow energy. So you can get one of those and add it to your house and make it look like it's part of the design. And the key to remember about energy and how this is going, and why I'm saying, oh gosh, put the curtain, and how it blocks your eyesight, is energy goes or flows where attention goes. So energy flows where attention goes. And that is a key component of playing and manipulating the energy and playing with Feng Shui. If there's another way you can slow down the energy, basically distract the eye or pull the eye somewhere else, you are slowing down the energy and making this space a little bit more comfortable. The energy is not going to come rushing into this corridor if we figure out ways to slow down the energy, distract the eye, pull the eye somewhere else so the energy slows down and meanders versus zips down the hall. So another fun feature or way to address this problem is to use a really interesting light fixture right there so that it draws the eye up. So that rather than energy going zip right at the bed, the energy goes, oh, first look at this cool light fixture, then comes down. And with that just little gesture of looking up, it will slow down the energy and help correct that rush that's coming at the bed. So I would have fun. So, you know, something like this that is definitely going to get your eye more than that fluorescent fixture. So you see that light fixture? Let's try to think of something else. Like if it could be a crystal, it could be any sort of thing. I just had fun finding good crystal ones. As you know, that'd be lots of good fun energy in there too. But it's just about the idea of pulling the eye somewhere else and adjusting that. So the light fixture will help draw the eye up, and it doesn't matter what light fixture tickles your fancy to draw the eye up. The key is that it's something fun, something interesting that you would put there. And usually if you have that, the junction box for the light, it's not hard to switch out a light and put something that would be better or help with the energy. And it'll be a fun design feature and just kind of make things nice. So things that help draw the eye up. But you also can do something that helps draw the eye down. And that's when you start playing with a rug runner in this space. Like say, for example, this is a rental as opposed to a place that is owned. You're not going to be able to change that light fixture easily per se. You might not want to go in there and deal with that because rather than being a down light or a pendant light, it's a fluorescent light fixture. So it might be a little bit more challenging to change it out if it's a rental. So why not, instead of pushing the eye up, let's take the eye down. And here are some fun carpet runners that would help do that. And as you see in the space, your eye goes there and you're like, ooh, these are fun. These are really pulling my energy there. So you'll look down at something that has a little pattern, a little interest, and it will keep the energy from just going so fast down that hall. It will meander. So some other bedroom fixes. Key thing in these is that we're missing a headboard. And so, as I said, one of the things in command position is key that you do have a headboard behind you. It's the whole idea that you're supported while you sleep. That's like a big, strong back of the chair, but you're supported while you're in there, and that's what a headboard offers. And we constantly see bedrooms with headboards, so there's something to it. So something I definitely think would need to be added is a headboard. And you can be creative with a headboard. It doesn't have to be the standard, you know, that you always see. Have some fun, like a curtain rod and some cushions, or a pillow that you put through pillowcases. There's so many interesting ways to create it, inexpensive, that you create the headboard that is necessary for the support and don't bust the bank trying to do it. So these are just lots of different designs, lots of options. And this one is a huge feature headboard as opposed to something small. You can have fun and make it more of a feature wall as opposed to just a headboard, but it's serving the purpose. Or something simple, whatever tickles your fancy. Have fun in creating that headboard and the support. It will improve your sleep. So the next issue with this bedroom is that it's in front of a window. Now I said it's a problem, but we can always fix it. So whenever possible, try not to put your bed in front of a window. But as I said, a lot of times where the spaces are designed and done, it is really hard to avoid. And actually I see tons and tons of magazines, design features where they'd love to actually on purpose put your bed in front of a window. And as you can imagine, I'm not really saying that's good because of the energy that flows through your window. You don't really want that behind you while you're sleeping. That's why you want the headboard to help protect you. So if you do end up with this situation, which several people do, where I live right now, yes, I have the exact same problem and I had to adjust it. So there's lots of different little things to do to fix the window. So what I would have suggested for her in her space is what you see this person in. It's a beautiful design way of fixing it, where it's a wall of curtains. So you see where the window is. You see that you made it a big gesture. So I feel like it's all about curtains in this room, but it's not the only cure. But it's a really good design one, and it gets the job done of creating the wall behind. So open it up to let that sunlight in during the day, and then at night, close it up. You still have the headboard, and you've created the support you needed and kind of took out the window. Another key thing you need to have in your bedroom is to have 2 nightstands. And if possible, have those 2 nightstands be equal because it will show balance in between you and your partner. Whether you have a partner or not, you should have 2 nightstands and 2 equal nightstands if possible. Because it talks about the quality in your relationship. And if you don't have one, the fact that the partner that does enter, you're ready for them, there's space for them, and you see them as an equal partner. So plus, we have 2 nightstands, so I'm very happy to see that in this room. I would, excuse me. I also just suggest when possible, have 2 matching lamps. It is not a requirement. It's just nice with the 2 nightstands that match and then the lamps match. Not necessary, and as you see, she doesn't have it here, but it would be nice if they're matching, not necessary. But it'd be another little thing to kind of bring the equality into the nightstands and the bed, giving equal footing to each partner. But it might be she really likes that cloud and he doesn't, so therefore she has a cloud and he doesn't. No problems, it's okay. So it doesn't matter that it's not the same, I just recommend it, but sometimes it doesn't work. And maybe what you could do if you don't do the matching lights, the lights in this room, maybe you do something that's small, but make sure it's equal on both nightstands to kind of add the equality. But as I said, it's really not necessary. It's just a step beyond. So when I was looking at this bedroom, the next thing I wanted to think about was how you would overlay the Bagua map in the space. And the key reason why I was concerned about the Bagua map and how I would lay it out in the space is I want to know where the relationship corner is the room. So when you talk about relationship and romance, the key room that you always look at is the bedroom. And then when you get in the bedroom, the key space you look at is the relationship corner. So I know you're probably asking, where is it? So in your bedroom, if you're doing it, the door is behind you and it's going to be the upper right corner. It's going to be the relationship corner. And when you start thinking about the relationship corner, you start thinking about things that deal with romance. And this is where you focus on all the things that deal with romance and partnership. And if things are out of whack in this area, it will definitely have more of an effect on your relationship than others. It's one of those places in your romance corner, try not to have clutter or junk because you're asking for clutter and junk in your partnership. Definitely don't put your dirty hamper there if you can avoid it. You don't want kind of dirty, stagnant energy in there. You don't want the litter box. I've had that happen. You don't want a litter box in your romance corner in your bedroom because you do not want your romance to go to. Exactly. So think of the romance corner. Think about the important items you should add in that corner. So in this place, it was right there. And you know what I love about this is they already have 2 hanging plants because it's about things in 2s. It's about partnership. So here, we're going to look over in this corner, the upper right corner, because then you remember if you walked in the door behind you, this is a romance corner. So things I would suggest to put there, if you're married, it's a wonderful place to put a wedding photo. If you're not married or not in a relationship, it's a great place to put images of couples. So like I always say, if you're not in a relationship and you don't, so therefore you're not going to use a picture of you and your current partner, then use abstract images of couples so that it depicts what you're looking for and reaffirms what you want. So any sort of images of couples that would relate to you. So if you can just kind of reinforce you want to bring it. And if you like abstract art, have fun with it. Like what talks to you, it's about your style, but make sure it's a positive image of a couple. And it can be something cute like romantic art sketches, if that's something that's more your style, if you like the more abstractness of it. So just kind of, or it just kind of makes you happy or tickles your fancy more, then have it be some sort of artistic thing. The romance corner is also a great place, or the relationship corner, a great place to put rose crystals. If you want to get really into it, you can get 2 heart rose quartz crystals and put it in that corner. Remember I talk about pairs and 2s is really good. So these are some things I suggested for. If you want to put animals or you're looking for a relationship, sometimes you don't want to do people, you can choose animals. Just make sure you pick animals that mate for life or have monogamous relationships. Yes, there are some animals that are not monogamous. And if you want a monogamous relationship, pick animals that do have monogamous relationships and be careful of that. So, there's certain animals that you avoid. Pears, 2 flowers is great to put there. So peonies are actually a great flower to attract romance. So put 2 peonies in a vase there, whether in a relationship or not, because you're just kind of feeding the energy of this space. So as I say, you should always be careful. This quote from Nancy San Pietro, I do think is very interesting. It's just, You really need to think about the energy of your room because of the fact that you're there for so many hours. You are really mixing with that energy, and it will be important that when you're in that room, you feel relaxed, you feel recharged, and you're ready to take on your next day. So thank you so much. If you want to learn more about how to, set up your bedroom, how to make it feel homey, and how to like have it set up for it to be a relaxing oasis, you can always book a one-room feng shui analysis with me, or energetic spaces, and we can talk about like how I did with this person, where I gave her lots of tips. I even gave her some more than I showed here of how to set up her space for the best night's sleep, get rid of all the negative things that are kind of affecting your sleep. Also, another place you can learn more about feng shui is if you decide to purchase my book, 24-Hour Magic, How to Change the Energy in Your Space Can Change Your Life. This has lots of feng shui tips. It goes over some feng shui basics so you can get started working on your space. Just so you know, at Energetic Spaces, we offer lots of services, which includes a 9-star key astrology analysis, feng shui consultations, and design integrated with energy, specifically using feng shui in the design process, so that no matter what your design style, it is designed to optimize the energy to support you or your activity in the space. So always remember this, everything is energy, so be conscious of it, be respectful of it, and make your space wonderful so it supports your energy. Thank you so much. I hope you will subscribe, and if you want, I'm also on Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, where you can learn more.